Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for August 15th, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, President Donald Trump has announced his intention to declare the Strait of Hormuz a territory of the United States. This move has sparked widespread international concern and raised questions about the implications for global trade and geopolitical stability. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital waterway located between Iran and Oman, and approximately one-fifth of the world's seaborne oil supplies pass through it. Trump's claim has been widely criticized as an overreach of American power and a potential violation of international law. In another part of the world, Israeli settlers have besieged several Palestinian homes in the West Bank village of Qusra, sparking widespread concern and condemnation. The situation began when settlers blocked the road to the Palestinian families' gates and cut off their power and water supplies. Despite attempts by Israeli security forces to intervene, the settlers remain, and the Palestinian residents are struggling to access basic necessities. In the business world, JP Morgan has increased its target price for Microsoft stock to $700, driven by the company's impressive growth prospects in the artificial intelligence sector. This revised target comes on the heels of Microsoft's strong earnings report, which saw Azure grow 37% in constant currency and intelligent cloud revenue reach $23.3 billion, up 29%. According to JP Morgan analyst Chatterjee, Microsoft is poised to benefit twice from AI spending, with Azure selling computing capacity to enterprises and AI companies, while its own products like Copilot act as internal customers for that same infrastructure. These are the major stories we are following today. We'll continue to bring you updates and analysis throughout the day. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. First, the Brazilian election is heating up, with President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva's lead over Senator Flávio Bolsonaro narrowing significantly ahead of October's vote. According to recent polls, it's a virtual tie between the two candidates, with Lula leading by just 2 percentage points. In other news, a devastating 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck Colombia on Monday, leaving widespread destruction and chaos in its wake. The disaster has resulted in at least 412 deaths and over 2,000 injuries, with many more still missing. Rescue workers are racing against time to pull survivors from the rubble, and the international community is rallying around Colombia to offer aid and assistance. Lastly, the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts is at the center of a controversy surrounding its planned renovations and the involvement of former President Donald Trump. The Kennedy Center Board, which is now comprised mostly of Trump allies, has voted to put the president's name back on the building, a decision that has been met with criticism from some who argue it's an attempt to politicize the institution. These are just a few of the stories we are following today. We'll continue to bring you updates as more information becomes available, and we'll provide in-depth analysis and context to help you understand the implications of these developments. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, Eagle Point Credit Company has released its Q2 earnings report, showcasing a commitment to its investment strategy in structured credit markets. The company remains optimistic about attractive risk-adjusted returns in areas like digital infrastructure and battery-related businesses. With its experienced management team, Eagle Point is well positioned to navigate the complexities of the structured credit space. Secondly, NVIDIA, the reigning champion of chipmakers, has been making waves with its impressive revenue and earnings growth. The company's valuation tells a different story, but its partnerships with industry heavyweights and massive capital investments have investors taking notice. While it's uncertain whether NVIDIA will reach the predicted $6 trillion market cap by year's end, one thing is clear: the chipmaker is a force to be reckoned with. Lastly, Salesforce has received a significant boost from JP Morgan's decision to upgrade its stock to overweight, accompanied by a price target suggesting potential upside of over 20%. Analysts believe that AI disruption concerns are overblown for Salesforce, given its resilient revenue growth and impressive operating margins. As the market evolves, it will be fascinating to see how Salesforce navigates this new landscape and delivers on its promise of long-term growth. These articles offer valuable insights into the world of finance and technology, highlighting both challenges and opportunities. As always, we advise investors to approach any decision with a critical eye and healthy dose of skepticism. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. First up, we have the CosmoCube satellite, which is set to unravel the secrets of the universe. This bold project represents a significant step forward in our pursuit of knowledge and understanding of the cosmos. As Carl Starman once said, somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. The CosmoCube satellite is a testament to humanity's innate curiosity and our quest for discovery. Next, we're looking at the challenges facing Europe in the global launch market. With the rise of SpaceX and reuse technology, the US has become the dominant player in the industry. European policymakers are now faced with a difficult decision: invest in expensive domestic technology or rely on lower-cost American launch capabilities. The future of space exploration and development hangs in the balance. Finally, we're talking about NASA's COFFEE's team, which has made a groundbreaking breakthrough in space weather forecasting. Their AI-powered system can predict sunspot emergence several hours before they become visible on the solar surface. This innovative technology has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the sun's activity and its impact on space weather, ensuring the safety of astronauts, equipment, and technology as we venture further into space. These articles remind us of the importance of critical thinking, skepticism, and evidence-based reasoning in our pursuit of scientific knowledge. As we continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, it's essential to acknowledge our responsibility to care for our planet and ensure that our endeavors are guided by a deep respect for the cosmos and its many wonders. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Speaking on the Up and Adams show, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott expressed his support for teammate George Pickens to receive a substantial contract extension. Prescott emphasized that while Pickens' love for football is genuine, he deserves every dollar he can get due to his exceptional skills on the field. The Cowboys are currently unable to offer Pickens a long-term deal, as the deadline for franchise-tagged players has passed, and Pickens signed his one-year, $12.3 million contract. However, Prescott's sentiments echo those of teammate CeeDee Lamb, who also voiced his desire for the team to retain Pickens beyond this season. With the wide receiver market continuing to escalate, Pickens is poised to command a top-tier salary if he replicates his impressive performance from last year. The Cowboys' ability to afford such a deal is feasible, as demonstrated by other teams that have successfully managed cap hits through bonuses and void years. Team owner Jerry Jones has acknowledged the possibility of paying Pickens, leaving the outcome dependent on Pickens' future performance and the team's willingness to invest in their talented receiver duo. In my humble opinion, this development highlights the intricacies of contract negotiations in professional sports, where player value, market trends, and team finances intersect. As we move forward, it will be fascinating to observe how the Cowboys navigate these complexities, balancing their desire to retain key talent with the need to manage their salary cap effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to explore the world of sports, it becomes increasingly evident that the line between athletic competition and business strategy is often blurred. The stories of Edwin Diaz and George Pickens serve as poignant reminders of this dynamic, where individual performance, team success, and financial considerations are inextricably linked. In conclusion, our discussion today has touched on several compelling narratives within the sports landscape. From the NFL preseason to the MLB's pennant chase, and from contract negotiations to player performances, there is no shortage of excitement and intrigue. As we delve deeper into these topics, I encourage you to join me in exploring the intricacies of the sports world, where human drama, athletic achievement, and business acumen converge. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curral.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, a devastating shooting incident occurred in Lake Township, Michigan, leaving 5 people dead and 1 critically injured. The suspect, Chad Hickman, was also found deceased. The motive behind the killings remains unclear, and authorities are urging anyone with information to come forward. In other news, Dolly Parton made a virtual appearance at the unveiling of Night Flight Expedition, the newest roller coaster at her theme park, Dollywood. Despite struggling with health issues, Parton remains committed to her projects, including the forthcoming Broadway musical based on her life story. Lastly, a fighter jet pilot walked away from a devastating crash in Washington state, leaving behind a trail of destruction. The pilot's calm demeanor and quick thinking are a testament to the training and dedication of military personnel. The investigation into the cause of the crash is ongoing, and the community is coming together to support the pilot and his family. These stories remind us of the complexities and challenges of life, from tragedy to resilience and determination. We'll continue to follow these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Can we talk? Let's dive into the latest news from the world of entertainment and beyond. First off, Bethany Frankel is making waves with her new supermodel cafe, where the food is almost as big of a deal as the conversation. Love her or hate her, Frankel knows how to generate buzz, and this cafe is no exception. She's already planning to expand and potentially take the cafe on the road. But what really caught our attention was Dua Lipa's airport look, specifically that gigantic striped Chanel beach bag she was carrying. We're talking excess baggage in the best possible way. What could she possibly be carrying in there? The possibilities are endless, but one thing is for sure, Dua Lipa is a true fashion icon. On a more somber note, the reality TV community is mourning the loss of Tyler Duckworth, a beloved personality and veteran of MTV's The Challenge. He was just 44 years old. Fans and former castmates are taking to social media to pay tribute to his memory, remembering him as a charismatic competitor and fantastic entertainer. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David AIDaNature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, a recent study published in Conservation Letters has revealed that marine protected areas, or MPAs, may not be enough to safeguard shark and ray populations. Despite their importance, only a small fraction of these species have their ranges substantively protected by MPAs, leaving them vulnerable to overfishing and extinction. Secondly, we have a remarkable story about the discovery of a rare species of monkey in the depths of the Amazon rainforest. Unfortunately, this article is not available today, so let's move on to our third topic. Lastly, researchers from Stanford University and Princeton University have investigated the 2016 to 2017 yellow fever outbreak in Brazil, which claimed nearly 500 lives. Their study suggests that drought, exacerbated by El Niño, played a pivotal role in the outbreak by altering the behavior of forest creatures and mosquitoes, ultimately leading to the spread of the disease. These articles underscore the complex interplay between climate change, animal behavior, and human health. As we move forward in an era marked by rising temperatures and increasing environmental disruptions, it's essential that we adopt a holistic approach to understanding these relationships. By doing so, we can develop more effective strategies for mitigating the far-reaching consequences of droughts and other extreme weather events, ultimately saving lives and protecting vulnerable ecosystems. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David AIDaNature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.